Okay, I've calmed down a bit. Um, yeah, I do just like, um, right now, I just want to scream and fall apart. Watch everything burn. See everyone I love die. Because then I have a reason to be upset. But I don't like when people call it an imbalance in my brain because it feels so invalidating. Partially because it's always been used against me. Whenever I had a reason to be upset, if I had a bad day at school, if I was having a bad week because I was sad or overwhelmed, if I got burned out from something, it'd just be like, "Have you been taking your medicine?" It's just imbalances. It's just your brain. You should be go up in your medicine. I was on SSRIs and I barely took them back then because the way they made me feel was so bad. So I just told everyone, "It's like, yeah, I'm taking them. I'm doing everything right." I take them once a week just to avoid the withdrawals. I was on Zoloft and Wellbutrin. And I didn't like the way Zoloft made me feel too because it just the emptiness was so much more intense. And if I look at some of the art that I did back then and the way that I marketed my music, it was just emptying. And that's one thing that I've noticed is with my music is there's a pretty solid time lapse of like one. I did take a test recently and it showed high likelihood of bipolar or leaning towards bipolar, which would be interesting. And you can honestly like see my ups and downs through my music, where there'll be entire months where I will be writing awfully dark music, just stuff that's just not happy, not writing a single happy song. And then there'll be like a few weeks where I write really happy shit, where I'm just in a good mood. It's, but it feels normal, like maybe a normal good mood. But I don't know what a normal good mood is. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it is to be normal. I can't tell. Nothing makes sense to me. It's been my whole life, at least. At least. Oh God. I've had this. I've had this conversation with myself at least 9 times today. Had it 9 times yesterday, 9 times the day before. It's a loop. It's constant. And last night I was with a friend and she noticed it. That I was in this loop. And it was really bad. And that like freaked me the hell out. That it's noticeable. That people can notice that I'm in this weird realm in my head. And I'm not grounded and I can ground myself. But when the second I'm grounded, I want to throw up. It's the worst feeling in the world. It's just something's happening. There's something that's gonna happen, like this looming dread. And I know it's just anxiety. I just have a natural, intense anxiety of something that I don't even know. I take a lot of anti-anxiety meds. They help. They help me with talking with people. Though I'm not sure if all that's just like I think a lot of that is just transitioning. I'm like obviously trans and shit, so maybe not obviously, but I pass to some people and to a lot of people I do. They just have no idea. Um, but which is awesome. But yeah, with transitioning, like interacting with people became a lot easier. Holding conversations is easier just because I know how to navigate them a bit better. They make sense. Like whenever I'd have to navigate like man conversations, it would just be like, um, they'd talk about something like this new video game came out and I really like it. The creators did this, this, and this, and I'm like, yeah, I liked playing this and I liked making my character. Yeah. I think the writing's good. And I just wouldn't have any substance to talk about because I don't care about that stuff really. I'm more so to like talking about like it's easier to talk with like femme people because I can just be like, yeah, so and so's a bitch. I hate that person, and just like gossip and shit or talk about my emotions. I can't do it as much because yeah, I'm all over the place. All over the place. No, I didn't need to. Why did I do that? Just stop. Okay. Sometimes I say things doubly. I double things, not because I have to, but because it slows down my thoughts, and now it's a habit. Or now it's kind of like an auto thing that my brain does, where I just repeat things. And it gets really bad when the psychotic symptoms get more intense, like where I will just say the same two words over and over again. That's what happened last night. Oh, I was talking about my friend stuff. Yeah, my friend noticed the loops. That it was every 15 minutes, every 45 minutes, something like that. That I just go down. I think it's every 15 minutes. It's every 15 minutes. But yeah, so, yeah. And it was really, really bad, I guess. And after that, I just kind of broke. Not really couldn't put a finger on it, and I think I was just like spiraling more, or whatever it is, and my shoes, I was wearing some shoes, and like the shoelaces, like the holes that they go in, started like opening and closing, and I was like, fuck, because I hadn't had visual symptoms in like a week. I was doing pretty good in that regards. As I told my therapist, like, things aren't moving anymore, it's great. And then it started opening and closing. And it freaked me out a lot. Yeah. And I was just quiet, and I started like sobbing. And the whole time I was just really hoping my friend would notice that something was up, because I was scared as hell. I just needed help. But my friend, of course, didn't notice, and I was stuck in my own head, and it's totally chill, because, of course, I don't actively show my emotions. I keep everything from within and just hope someone can see me. No one ever sees me. Then we started walking, and my friend asked if I was okay, and I wasn't able to verbalize it. At that point, I went somewhat, like, and then I just, like, my friend, like, and then I just started repeating the same word over and over again, and I just actively spiraled. And when I actively spiral, like earlier I was saying no, 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 stop, stop. It was that, but times 10. Constant, over and over and over again. And then I'd say stop, and I'd yell at myself to stop, because there'd be something in my head saying something, not like a voice, not like an avid voice that I could hear, but something vague. I was like telling myself to stop, like there was something, I don't know what it is. And when it gets like that, it gets really loud. Everything's really loud. And it's like I'm attacking myself. And then I'm paranoid because there's someone seeing me like that. That was the worst. That was one of the worst parts. Is my friend was seeing me. They saw me completely degrade, fall to the ground at my worst. And they said it was just like a panic attack. It doesn't. I mean, if that's. I mean, I know I was panicking, and but I didn't feel like I was dying. I was just trying to stop myself from something. Although the world felt dead, everything was gone, but it wasn't gone. It was there. I was there. I knew I was there. I knew, but I wasn't. And then I wasn't in the car, but I was in the car, and it was bad. Fuck. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe I'm awful. And then sometimes I just think I'm faking it. I just get imposter. But if I am faking it, what if I'm faking it? I'm not, right? No. Fuck. Stop. 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 No, shut up. Shut up. Okay. Oh God. Oh God. No, stop. Okay. I was back to makeup. Okay. I don't really have anything else that I do for my makeup. I do have this lipstick thing that I really like. Stop. Yeah, it's like but yeah, no, it looks pretty nice. I like it. My teeth are so yellow and I hate it. I wish I could fix it. I do have teeth whiteners, but they hurt my teeth after. It's so weird. And this British has fought in years of mental health garbage. Hasn't helped. But stop. But yeah. Yeah, maybe I'm just crazy. And I'm just desperate for someone to see me. And maybe I'm just playing everything up just so someone sees me. Just so someone sees me. Just so someone... No. Stop. Okay, but yeah. I wasn't always like this. Maybe I have a tumor. That would suck. Oh my god, that'd be miserable. Should probably get it checked though. If my brain's been this bad. Deteriorating. I'm not as smart as I once was, and my music doesn't feel as good as it used to. There's also a thing where I'm worried that I might be developing schizophrenia. That would be awful. I really wouldn't want to be schizophrenic. I know I'm at risk of it, but I don't think that I am going to be. Probably not. It's just the drugs. The drugs. Stop. Or it's OCD. That's another thing. But if it's all OCD, that'd be fucking nuts. Because I don't really have any rituals. I don't really have any, like, I say stop. Firstly because I'm scared of voices. Or I'm scared of seeming crazy. And by doing that, I seem crazy. So it's just kind of productive. I don't know why I do it. It's just, I'm trying to make the thoughts stop. Yeah, this is probably one of the most neurotic videos on YouTube, maybe. It's pretty out there, it's pretty chaotic. That's my brain. Honestly, my brain's kind of been like this my whole life. It's just now it's really coming to the surface. I've always been at risk of this shit. I just use drugs to hopefully feel, because I've always felt so numb. I had a very traumatic childhood. Really traumatic. Like being raised a boy. And every time that I would be pissy about boy shit and being I don't think there's a difference between gender. I'd tell my parents, I'd be like, I don't think there's a difference between a boy and a girl. I don't think it matters. And they would just be like, there's a big difference. And then, part of me, I knew why. It's because I didn't want to be grouped in with boy shit. I did not like it. I did not resonate with men on any level. I see them as boring and barbaric. Obviously, I'm just being a little dramatic. I don't actually think that all men are boring and barbaric. I just don't vibe with them. They don't make much sense to me. I mean, they make sense to me. I see them as a little simple, but that's just me. Though if you're a man who's watching this, I don't see you as simple. You're probably complex and cool. It's just like the average Joe is a little simple. Or at least the way they interact with me is a little simple. I'm sure if I got close with them, I'd see the complexities, but I don't know, it just feels like all they talk about is politics and debate like things, and it's like, okay, that's cool. And they'll talk about like the deep meaning behind this video game. It's like, I don't care about that. I like characters and story and character creation and sandbox and god games. That's what I like. So I love like RimWorld and shit, and then they're just talking about this other shit, or they're like chatting about fucking, what's it called? And they're just like talking about Valorant and shit and their favorite Valorant skins, and they're like chatting about like the strategies and like God, it's so boring. God, I don't give a fuck about it. Of course, it's just like me generalizing shit. Not all men are like that. I understand that. Just a lot of the ones that I've interacted with are. I also don't believe in gender. I just believe it's just societal expectations. So, like, you know what I like. No one knows what I mean. Nobody knows it, what I'm trying to get to, the point I'm trying to make. There is no point. It's never ending. It doesn't end. That's what like got kind of crazy with writing essays in high school is I feel like as the years went on, my essays did just lower in quality. Partially because I was psychotically collapsing. They did just naturally have like a spiral to them where I could never reach a point that I wanted to make. It was just an endless thing of thoughts that led to nowhere, that had meaning but not enough to grapple onto, not enough to live day-to-day life with. They're always intense and meaningful, but at the same time they lead nowhere. Like my sister, I have that thought a lot. I know I'm not as aware as I like to think I am. I know and realistically I don't know what my brain's doing. I mean, you can put the label spiral on it. I know that's probably right. But I'm tired of that. I'm tired of being like, oh, it's just this. Cool. Yay. I'm glad it's just that. Also, now what? Because I'm still gonna have those fucking spirals. Oh, fucking shit. I'm tired. Oh my god, I look ugly. No, stop. Just, you don't look ugly. I can talk about something that makes me happy. There's a few things that ground me that make me a bit happier. One of those is makeup. It's kind of crazy that I'm trying to do makeup and I'm like, you should see me when I'm alone, not doing anything. It isn't good. I'm trying to interact with people's bad too. I don't think I'm depressed. I don't feel like self-hating. I can self-loathe. But I do it for a reason. It's not like I feel like I have to. It's just I do it. I don't know why I do it. It just happens. Though I feel perfect right now. I don't know why. I want to cry. I want it to stop. 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 Stop. The best thing is I can mask it on some level. Like when I go to therapy, with my one therapist that I have, I've kind of stopped masking it, and I don't know what she sees in me now. I don't ask that question. It's like, what do you think's wrong with me? And then a lot of people are like, there's nothing wrong with you. It's like, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with me. Maybe I'm developing something more serious. And it's over. I'm probably gonna drink after this. I shouldn't. Don't do it. Don't fall into that habit. Really shouldn't. I have a support system. I just don't like leaning on people because they'll leave. If I lean on people, they'll leave. And I'll be alone again. I already cut off a lot of people in my life. A lot of people. Stop. Shut up. It's all just a cry for help. I could go to a hospital. What are they gonna do? I'm trans. They're gonna treat me like shit. I live in Texas. I can't get my name changed. I can learn all the tools to help to appear normal, to do things. But it won't go away. And I can accept that. And if I accept that, then I just want to destroy everything. It's the hoping that it can go away is the one sense of comfort that I get. Without that, then I just want to kill everything. I want to watch the world burn. I want to see everyone I love die. Not by my hands, just by accidents or untimely events. What's wrong with me? Nothing. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. No. I'm fine. I'm fine. Maybe I should show this to my psychologist. I took a test. I think I already said. Did I say? I took a test with my psychologist, and it said that I have generalized anxiety and I lean towards bipolar. I think I already said that. It doesn't matter. Oh, no. Why did I say that? One thing is I don't have much control over anything. I say things now, and I don't realize I'm saying them. And then I say it. Of course, I've learned with time, habitually, what not to say and what to say. As of late, there's no control over it. I don't think before I speak. I don't think before I speak ever. I look like a fucking whore. Just don't say that about yourself. You look fine. You're pretty. On some level. Not perfect. I wish I was perfect. I know it's an unattainable goal. I used to think that I could get there. And I was so obsessed with that idea. I needed to be perfect. It was great. Who the hell would love this? Who would? It's like, seriously. Why would you? I'm barely even funny. The only conversations I can have are emotional. I broke it. That sucks. This is my favorite. It has a little spring on it, and it's nice to fidget with, because I like springs. And I didn't break it, but yeah. I wonder how much longer I have before I go totally gone. Before I fully break. If I do break. If it's all just made up. What if it's all made up? What if I'm making it up? Why would I do this? It would just be to be seen if I am just doing it for that reason. It'd just be so people look at me. I was so timid and quiet growing up. And not fitting in anywhere. And then losing half my friends when I started puberty. I didn't understand why. Because like in 6th grade, like half my friends were like preppy girls, and the other half were just like nerdy dudes. And funny thing is, like, a lot of the nerdy dudes ended up transitioning. Dudes, like a lot of that, like, weren't dudes, but you know what I mean. Like at the time, fuck. It's not like ended up transitioning. So like, or just being queer, or like bi, or just like LGBT. I've never been friends with like a large amount of cis, like, straight dudes. Never. But I lost a lot of like my cis women friends, I guess, when I started puberty, because I don't know. And in 7th grade, there was a lot of people that assumed I was gay, and I could never open up with my parents. I learned from a very young age that I can't open up with family or anyone other than friends, or just one person, or 1 or 2 people. Like, I learned that most people don't understand. Maybe I'm so simple. I've always wanted to be an airhead, because everything's so complicated for me. I just want someone to hold my hand. I wasn't raised to be able to navigate life by myself. I'm sure I can get there, but I can't do anything alone. I can't be alone. I don't like sleeping by myself. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna die. Fuck. I have a song on my other... Stop. I have a song on my, stop. I have a song on my other channel, called Left Ear, and it's because I hear things on my left ear sometimes, and it freaks the hell out of me. It scares the living hell out of me. I don't like it. I don't even know what the sounds are. It's just like vague things, and if I think about it too much, it gets louder. If I ignore it, I can kind of just like, it's whatever. I don't... It's generally like, at its worst, it's whispering. It's just like unintelligible whispering, and then other times it's just weird noises, like city noises, like not city noises, just like human-esque noises, or just like loud things, and it scares the fuck out of me. Maybe it's all just psychedelic-induced trauma. I loved psychedelics. Like, when I was able to do them in a safe environment, and when I wasn't being used so much sexually, they were fun. And I remember, but when I got home, my brain deteriorated. The longer I've been not in a relationship, my brain deteriorated. Or maybe it's none of those things. Maybe I just have a tumor or something. That would suck. I don't want to die. I'm too scared to death. I've always been miserably scared to death ever since I realized that I was going to die when I was 4 years old. So I was like 4, and I realized, fuck, I'm going to die. What is death like? Is it before I was born? Nothing? Or is it afterlife? And it scared the living hell out of me, and I just freaked the hell out, and I go to my mom, and my mom's just like, there's a heaven, you don't need to worry. But I'd still worry, and I'd have panic attacks every night, basically, about it. It was bad. Really bad. And so I always generally need something to distract myself from thinking about that. Because it's not fun. I can think about it right now. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Because sometimes it bothers me, sometimes it doesn't. So yeah. It's great. There's no consistency. Which is why, like, I wish I could just say I have OCD. But I can actively trigger my deepest fears sometimes, and nothing happens. I don't experience any anxiety. It's like I have no control of when it happens, of how it happens. It gets bad at night. Everything gets bad at night. Everything's also bad in the morning, but it's probably the worst at night. Also, another thing is, I'm sexual, but like not in like a very vague sense, where I don't enjoy sex. Never have. Oh my god, it's miserable. Maybe it's just the bottom dysphoria. That's like one of the reasons why like I'm pretty certain I have bottom dysphoria, other than the fact that I think the whole area is just ugly as fuck, and it makes me want to throw up when I look at it, because it's like, ew, this is gross looking. And also not understanding why, like, anyone, like, why, like when I viewed myself as a man, like, some people they talk about how, like, got their dicks and shit, and how they're aesthetically pleasing, or how, like, things and, like, vague shit, and I just wouldn't understand. I'd be like, and I'd try to fit in and be like, oh, well, like, and they talk about size and be like, oh, mine's this big. But it was just me, like, I was just copying them, and I didn't understand why they cared, or what they were thinking about, or how the fuck could they think that it's pleasing in any way. It's ugly as hell. It's gross looking, and it's just shaped awful. I could not fathom why someone would want it. Trans men are awesome. Like, go for it. I just don't understand it. So that's why I believe I bought him dysphoria, because it's like, yeah. And also my inability to enjoy sexual, like, things. Like, there's some sexual things that I can look back on and like, probably on the better side. Like, actually, teeny bit enjoyed that. Um, but it had to be a very specific way, and otherwise I just hated it. Like, every time that I, like, had intercourse with, like, femme people, like, it felt good. Like, I won't lie, it felt pretty fucking good. But afterwards I'd cry. Or I'd just feel awful. Like, it felt good. And, like, femme people, I find them pleasing to look at, though I'm, like, a lesbian, but did I enjoy it? No. Do I like eating people out? No. I hate it. I don't enjoy sex, but it feels good. Um, I guess. But then I just want to cry. Well, if it was just like me eating someone out, then I don't want to cry. It's just like, I didn't really like that. But then again, when I would, there'd be like, it'd be hairy, and I don't like hair. It'd just be like, ugh, I don't know. I'm just weird. It's complicated. Sex shit's complicated for me. Especially since I'm like a trans woman, so it's like, oh, there's so many different layers. And I'm like, another thing is like, I'm like a lot more like gender conforming on some level, which is weird. I never thought I would be, because I always hated gender, but this is just naturally what I fell into. I didn't really have much control over it. It just kind of happened. And the trans women that I relate to are generally pretty damn, like, super femme. Like, they generally conform to a lot of feminine standards, and that's just what I related to. So yeah. I don't know, I'm weird. Gender's weird. It's confusing. My whole gender journey has been chaos. Like, trying to transition in high school and my parents being awful about it. And that was one thing. In high school, I tried to fix my family so much, and it didn't work. I couldn't fix them. I couldn't fix my mom. It wasn't my job to, and I can't change other people. I learned that the hard way. And they wouldn't accept me. They were really upset about, like, when I went by Zoe. That was, my mom was pissed. It was my birthday. It's like, why the fuck are people calling you Zoe? I don't like this. I was like, I'm trans. I told you. And Mom, they constantly blocked it out every time I brought it up. My dad doesn't even recall that it happened, even though he sat me down and was like, I don't see it. It's like, okay, cool. I'm glad you don't see it. Yay. Because all I do is just play video games and be loud and untidy and depressed. And he'd just be like, it's like, you do a lot of masculine things. It's like, do I? What masculine things do I do? I play video games. I make dirty jokes. I hate camping. I hate going outside. I don't talk with you. I chat with Mom more than you. Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't see it? I know he just didn't want me to do it. And, I mean, he got his way for a bit. Like, I went to the hospital, and then someone had a crush on me. And that's when I was decided, like, oh, okay, someone loves me. And they loved me because, at the time, I just wore skinny jeans and a black t-shirt. I didn't wear anything, and I had black hair, and I was a type. I knew I was attractive. I felt ugly all the time, and I hated when people would call me handsome. Oh my god. But, so I was like, oh, someone loves me. Okay, cool, and my family hates me, so why not just not do it? And so I locked her in a cage. I had like a little mental cage that I had, and I locked Zoe in a cage. And then I went by my dead name. Well, I didn't go exactly by my dead name, because I was in a relationship, kind of. And my sense of self fucking exploded, so I, like, went by my dead name for a bit. And then when I got out, I still went by a dead name, and then after a relationship, my sense of self died. Like completely died, and I went by like a bunch of cringy names like Cloud, Fox, and I couldn't decide on anything. A whole bunch of different names, and then at some point I was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore, I'm just gonna go by my dead name, everything's too exhausting. And my sense of self was still dead. I changed my style, cut off all my friends, all this other shit. That was really bad. Yeah. But yeah, and then I went by, like, I used he, they after that. Like, when I first wanted to transition, it was just she, her all the way. Maybe occasionally she, they, but it was really just always she, her. That's all I ever wanted. It was just to be, like, just a full-blown, like, alternative bitch. I was in high school, so I was edgier and stuff like that. This was, like, 9th grade, and then or summer of 8th grade, kind of, and then I detransitioned 8th to 10th grade or whatever, or detransitioned socially with my friends and shit like that. Or go back on it, and then for a year, I like mask. Still hated being called handsome. Whenever my parents would call me handsome, it was like, okay. Okay. Didn't make me feel good. It was just like, okay. Look in the mirror, felt ugly. There'd be other parts, like if I, like for a while I had pecs a little bit, I looked in the mirror, it's like, or I had a recording myself, it's like, I'm hot. Cool. But I really didn't associate with it, and it was me, but a weird vague, I don't know what it was. It was me, but like, I didn't like it. Well, I liked it, but like, it was just aesthetically pleasing, I guess, on myself a little bit, just pecs, but not something I wanted long term, if that makes any sense. Where, yeah, I saw that video, it was like, nowadays when I see that video, it's like, oh, gross. It was me, like, making a coffee or something. I didn't have a shirt on. I hated having my shirt off. I always hated it. If I went swimming, I always wore a shirt. Or I'd just swim in my clothes, since I did not like wearing shorts. Oh my god, my whole life I've hated shorts. But yeah, that's a rare video of me not having my shirt on, I guess, too. Oh no, I did. There's a video of me streaking through Walmart. That was something else. I could never do that nowadays. I have too much value for myself. I actually care about my body and care about how people perceive me. I'm no longer that depressed, but yeah. I'm just dealing with whatever the fuck this is. I feel better reliving my past. Reliving things that make me happy. Like my gender and shit. Reliving the whole process of me realizing, because that was one of the most fulfilling moments of my life. It was the best thing that's ever happened to me. So I'd rather relive that, because I don't have a lot of best things that have ever happened to me. I don't have a lot of good memories. I have a few things, but not a lot. My life's been pretty bleak. As much as I'd love to, like, her to be like, oh, think of something that made you happy. There's my friend group. They're all gone. I mean, I'm friends with some of them still, but the whole friend group's dead. There's some people that still call themselves a part of the friend group, but half of the people aren't in there anymore. Half of the core members just of the friend group aren't there. There's 3 of them. And then a few of the outskirts people, like, I don't know, it's bullshit. I don't like that they still refer to themselves as the friend group. We had a specific name, I'm not going to give out the name, but yeah. I don't like it, because it's gone. Most of them weren't good people anyways. But yeah, I like reliving that stuff. I like reliving my journey, self-discovery. The only time that I've discovered anything about myself. I mean, other than the fact that I'm like more gender conforming, and that was fun too, an enjoyable discovery. That's why I relive it over and over again. That's why I've latched onto it. But most other things bring me fear, like a solid friendship. I wish I could latch onto that, but all I have is the fear that I'm gonna fuck it up, that I'm gonna break it, that it's gonna be my fault, and they're gonna go away. Family. My brother's dead. So whenever I think about memories of my brother, I just cry. Whenever I think of memories of my older brother, I want to cry too, because I don't see him anymore, and he's different, and he's not as happy. And my younger brother is barely holding on. My mom's an awful person. Invalidating, explosive, yelling, screaming, door slamming, screaming. And my dad's just my dad, conservative. My dad's like the most stable in my family. And he's also invalidating. If I'm having like a mood swing or if I'm crying, it's just like everyone has ups and downs. Tomorrow will be better. It's like, stop. I'm having a moment. Stop telling me to have a moment. Or stop telling me the moment's gonna go away. This is real. I just want to be seen. Don't make it small. It's not small. It doesn't feel small. It's big. It's crazy. Let me have this. And of course I can't get it with him. And he also is embarrassed by me. And if I want him to come into my work and say hi and try the food, because I know he'd like it. But he never will. He doesn't care, I guess. Even though that meant a lot to me. Or if he'd take me, like, literally, I just want to spend time with my family on some level. Because I still care, somehow. I still love them. Like, literally, I'd go fishing with my dad. Like, literally anything. But, nope, ain't gonna happen. I asked them to invite me to shit. Like, totally, I'd love to go with y'all. And they just don't. I don't get involved. Well, because I'm 22 now. I'm not gonna invite a 22-year-old daughter. But, it's fine. And my grandma's great. I love her, but she mostly calls just to ask for favors and shit, because she's old. She's old. She's one of those old ones. You like, don't do much, but try, and they're sweet, kind of judgy, very judgy grandma, but she's sweet. Just if I get a call, I know she's asking for something. Unless I don't speak to her for a couple months, then she'll call and just be like, oh, thank you for picking up the phone. I'm so glad. How are you doing? Then she'll actually, like, talk to me. But otherwise, it's just asking for favors. Which I'm not gonna fill, because I'm not lifting pots. I ain't doing garden shit. I'm not painting a door. I'm not doing that shit. That shit makes me want to throw up. Because I did have a construction job for a while when I was trying my best to boy mode. When I was trying my best to be a man. OMG. Literally the worst thing I've ever done. Oh my god. I've already had this conversation with myself. Maybe 2 days ago. Maybe 3 days ago. Exactly just like this. No control. There's a lot of things in my life that are just I'm like this because I don't feel like I have control deep down. I hate the subconscious. I wish I had total control over it, of everything. I wish I did. That would be nice. Yeah. I wonder how much longer I have until I shouldn't be thinking that negative. I really should. I don't know how not to, though. I don't know how not to think negative. I mean, I know how not to. I can just reframe my thoughts. So, like, not think of it as this. But then I'm just invalidating myself. Then I just feel like, oh god, because the thought is still there. When I say it out loud, it's like, I don't know. I'm complicated. I'm so complicated. Everything is so complicated. I wish the numbing didn't always happen. Numbing or emptiness or whatever it is. Just feeling like I'm a void. Like there's nothing left of me. And then I obviously wish I could fill the void maybe with love or someone just holding my hand. I don't know if that's too much to ask for. Because it's gotta come from within, right? Right? I don't know how to get it to come from within. And I'm scared to have it come from within. I'm scared to be able to confidently be like, oh, I could live by myself in an apartment for a couple of years. I could do that by myself. Oh god, I would want to throw up. I think like that would just break my brain. I feel like I just actively isolate. I don't like living alone. I need people. I like coming home and seeing someone that I can actually appreciate. I don't really have that. I love my younger brother, but I don't really have much in common with him. He's like a gym bro. So it's like, he plays video games, but we play totally different video games. He plays like Valorant and shooter shit, and I play like Skyrim and RimWorld and Stardew and what else? Minecraft, City Skylines, Crusader Kings 3. Like that's all I play. Or like Terraria. Like those are the games that I play. Or Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk's good. I love Cyberpunk. But yeah, like that's the shit that I play. And then he plays like those other games. Mass Effect. Oh my god, I love Mass Effect. But yeah. And obviously my mom, I can't do. My dad, what the fuck am I gonna talk about my dad about? I mean, we both like New Order and like a lot of the 80s stuff. But like, I just like that. What I really like is like a lot of 90s. Like that's my go-to is like 90s mathy shit, like 90s hardcore, grunge, anything 90s, industrial, like all that shit. I adore it. And a lot of 2000s indie, and then a lot of 2010 indie too, and then hyperpop. So like that's me. And then some like 70s not, is it acid rock? No, it's psychedelic rock. A lot of that shit. Yeah. Everything's so much. I wish I could be happy. But it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. Stop. It does. It doesn't stop. There's nothing left of me. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho. And if you're around me, I'm just quiet and I act normal. But no one knows what goes inside. Nobody knows. And if they do, they're going away. They're scared of me. Maybe I'm just doing it for attention. That would suck. That would suck a lot. I wish I could cry. I love psychedelics because then I could just cry. I miss crying. And sometimes I can wake up from a nap and I'll just be sobbing. And I'll just think about everything that I've needed to cry about but don't. And then I cry about it and it's wonderful. What even am I? What is this? Why me? What did I do for this, honestly? Like, if, like, karma's real and, like, in a past life, what the fuck did I do? Like, that shit, like, is intense. What did I do to be this psychotic and crazy and awful? What did I do to, like, be like this and just hurt more people? I cut off so many people that I didn't need to, and I cut off some fucking douchebags. Who I talk to, by the way, still, they don't know that I randomly think of them as douchebags. Well, one of them's good. One of them's good. Other one's just whatever. The other one's just a piece of shit. And, another one's a piece of shit. I love them still, though. I would never wish anything bad on them. Life is perfect. Life is perfect. When does it stop? What's wrong? Will it ever end? Will it ever end? When will it stop? Am I broken? Am I gonna be like this forever? Do I just have to accept that I'm gonna be like this forever? That I'll never be perfect? That I'll never be remembered? That I'm done with making positive impacts? That I can just be vaguely sweet to people, but not for long term? Because anything long term is going to be too much. I'm not going to be able to do it right. I'm not going to be able to do it right. I'm not going to be able to do it right. They're going to leave because I'm going to fuck things up. Because I can't make new friends. I can only just, like, if someone wants to be my friend, and if they try hard enough for a long enough time, then I will be their friend. And if they just ignore the mistakes that I make, then I can be their friend. But otherwise, it's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. I want to die. This is wonderful. This is the best. I hate everything. What's wrong with me? How much longer? How much when? What if I have a tumor and that's why I'm like this? I don't care. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. That's what I tell myself. Because when I was worried that I had OCD, yeah, when I was worried that I had OCD, what was I saying? I work a job. Oh, this is great. So I work a job. I have a job. Can you believe that I have a job? I can hold a job 2 days a week, 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week. I can do 6 days a week, but you bet that I'm dying, that I'm dead inside by the end of it. And it doesn't stop. The only time that I'm like a bit okay is if I'm going to a therapy appointment or a psychologist appointment. And then I'm just like, I'm like a little stable right now. Oh, I'm okay. Oh, I'm having a good day. No, I'm not. It's just I have to appear somewhat normal. Somewhat normal. Somewhat normal. Somewhat normal. And I'm careful not to repeat myself. I'm careful to make sure that I'm speaking everything appropriately so that I appear good enough, so that I appear in a way that I need to appear. Either that be truthful, because I can't, or as truthful as I can get, or I'm just trying to say what's valuable, what I think is valuable to say. Because honestly, all this shit, I don't think it's very valuable. I think it's just mumbo jumbo craziness. And I don't think it has any value. But it probably does, honestly. I just don't like people seeing me like this. So I like masking it and making myself appear normal and focusing. I have to hone it. I have to lock in, and I can be like therapists will have big questions. And I'll be like, oh, I've been good. Like I can roleplay right now. It's like, oh, I've been pretty good. I've been iffy all over the place. Jumbled thoughts, like kind of going down these spirals and shit, but I'm manageable. I'm managing. Ask me some questions, we'll go over some shit, and I'll just be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm good, and yeah. I like you right now. That's nice. I fuck with this. Yeah. So, yeah. It's kind of just crazy. And I can do it the whole time, and because then I have someone else to lean off. If I can lean off of their energy, I can pay attention to how they're speaking, and I can kind of make sure that I'm doing it right. And also I'm seen. That's another thing, is I'm seen. So that takes away a lot of anxiety, a lot of pain, because I'm seen. And I can talk about things that might hurt more, or whatever fear that I might have in that moment. So then I'm fine. So I'm crazy. My psychologist, he's really cool. I don't understand. I have been paranoid lately that he's just saying stuff that he knows that I want to hear, and preparing my brain for saying the things that I don't want to hear. That would suck. Because I did have a psychologist, or before, that me and my dad saw, and I opened up. I opened up from my very heart, talking about how music to me was important, because it was being remembered forever, and then my family could be remembered through me, and everyone that I love could be remembered through me. And the therapist afterwards told my dad, that she has the maturity level of a 7-year-old. And then my dad told me that after. It's like, okay, great, I don't want to see this guy anymore. If I do have the maturity level of a 7-year-old, so what? I don't care at this point. What is that information gonna do for me? Nothing. Cool. I'm immature. Great. Tell me something I don't know. Or maybe I am mature and wise. That's almost comical to say. But yeah, I'm worried that my psychologist is picking apart every part of my brain, psychoanalyzing every little thing. And picking apart every piece of my soul, making me. And it's gonna pick me apart and find my truest self, the deepest core. And that core is gonna be something I don't like. And that would suck. And then I have to come to terms with that and be like, oh shit, that's terrifying. I'm doing it anyways because I want to be perfect. And I want this lofty goal of perfection so that I can be the perfect mind, the perfect catalyst for something artistically perfect, the perfect representation of this time period of my brain, of art, of everything I hate, of everything I love. I'm broken. I wonder if he'd just watch a YouTube video like this. Like, I wonder if I send it to him and he's like, hey, you want to see this? I recorded myself going crazy. Or do you think it holds no value? Maybe it doesn't. Maybe it does. I don't know. I can say anything. I can do anything. And no matter what, they'll believe me. I love when people tell me things that I already know. Like, one of my friends DM'd me. Like, I sent a video with me speaking and shit. And my friend was like, damn, your voice has changed a lot. And I was like, what do you mean more? Well, I knew what, like, he meant. He's like, it's a lot more feminine. It's like, ooh, yay. It's like, I already knew that. I just like when people tell me things that make me happy. So it's like, I already knew. I just wanted to hear it. And I rode that feeling. Or like the other day, my friend told me that I was always really sweet and kind. And it's like, cool, yay, awesome. I love hearing that. But of course I say like, ooh, thank you. Oh my gosh. Make sure that days that I appear normal and that I'm taking the compliment the way it should be taken by most people. And not being like, I know. I used to be like, I know. And then I realized how shitty that came across. And I was like, okay, won't do it. It still enters my head. Or someone says, oh, if I really dress up and look pretty, it's like, oh, you look so gorgeous. It's like, I know. Thank you. It's thoughts like these that make me worried I'm a narcissist. It's thoughts like these where I'm like worried about how I struggle with conversating with people where I'm generally not interested in other people on some level. Like whenever I'm like talking with someone, like I'm talking with a friend right now, it's like I'm forcing myself to like ask questions. Naturally, I just want to talk about myself. Generally, I'm not curious about others. I'll ask questions if I feel socially awkward about someone else. I have a really hard time caring about someone else. I would start crying if they died. I would freak the hell out if someone died. I would if they're struggling or crying, I'm gonna start crying. I want to be there for them. I want to make sure they're okay. Right? But if everything's good, everything's fine. I don't like chat with people the way that other people do. I don't get curious about others like the way that other people do. I don't feel like in dating, I'm curious about the other person for a bit. And I want to know not really everything about them. Part of me doesn't really care all that much. At some point, like, I noticed, like, I chatted with an old friend of mine on Snapchat, and we were chatting, and I told him everything that I've gone through, everything that I'm doing, and then he told me everything about himself, and I just never responded, because I just wanted to talk about myself and just be seen. My psychologist, when I told him that I was worried that I might be a narcissist, he said that he asked if I'd be open to take a test, and I was like, yeah, totes. What if I'm a narcissist? That'd be crazy. I don't think I'd really care that much. I would care. I'd be devastated, but like mostly because how am I going to be perfect if I'm a narcissist? How am I going to reach this new level of perfection? And if I accept that I'll never be perfect, oh God, am I depressed? Oh God, am I anxious? Oh God, do I want to throw up all the time? And I can logically be like, I'm not perfect. And then I get sad. It's like, fuck, I'm not perfect. Okay, well, I'm worthless, I guess. Oh, well, okay. I don't know. I still do things that are weird. I'm very hidden. And when I do open up to people about my emotions, like, I mean, when people open up to me, I care. I don't make it about myself. I logically know that you shouldn't make it about yourself. I logically understand that a lot of the times when someone tells you something, you shouldn't talk about yourself. You shouldn't like relate back to it. You should ask like, well, how does it make you feel? Is that a lot for you? How do you handle that? And then ask them like questions like that. Like, don't be like, well, I understand that because one time when I was 4, I went through this, and this. And one thing I realized with me is whenever I do that, it's a lot more intense than whatever they're going through. And so then I'm just like, oh, fuck, I'm a shitty person. Oh, why did I do that? There's one time, it was like, I don't have good holidays. My mom had a history of ruining holidays. So I don't really have good ones. I dread Christmas. I dread Thanksgiving generally. I dread Easter. I dread every fucking holiday. Also, just because I'm so anxious too. I'm naturally incredibly anxious. Not as much anymore though, since I've taken my meds and I've transitioned far enough. I've gotten my voice to a point that I'm a bit more confident. I can walk into a room and be like, hi y'all, how are you? And I won't be that nervous. I'll be mostly fine. And then I start thinking about myself, and then I'm freaking the hell out, and then I need validation, and I can't get it all the time anymore. I used to just have this like Discord server I'd be in, and I'd just talk about myself every day, all the time. It'd just be me psychoanalyzing myself, thinking about myself, always chatting it up. And I knew people would see it, and I knew they wouldn't say anything, but I knew they saw it. I knew they were looking at me. And I lost that. Now no one's looking at me. Oh God. Maybe I'm a narcissist. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's like HPD. That'd be crazy. I just feel like there's something deeply wrong with my personality because I can act staunchly different at times. I've warped myself to fit other people a lot. And sometimes I just have such a lack of sense of self that I'll try on like 15 different outfits. None of them work. And then I just kind of go to the one that's like, okay, I've developed a sense of self that I've confident in, then I feel anxious, not depressed, and I'm just worried that it's a lie and it's not right and I'm doing everything wrong. But I've gotten to a point where it's like, this is me. Like right now I'm just wearing shorts and like a cute little like jacket or sweater. Sometimes I wear like a cute skirt and like a cute top or like a brown dress. Like those are generally what I go to. Sometimes I might wear like a black and red skirt. I love those because those are like my comfort things. When I started transitioning, that's all I wore: black and red, black and red. And I'll wear like a cute top with that. And it's so adorable. But so like I cling to that shit because I know I like it. But whenever my sense of self shatters, I will put on black skinny jeans, chains. I'll put on a t-shirt because I'll dress just like my first obsession, Kelly. I'll just want to look just like her, but cooler. So I'll put on the chains. I had piercings for a bit, like right here, and I had a nose piercing. And I just wanted to look cool as fuck. I wanted everyone to be scared of me. I wanted everyone to look at me and be scared. It was mostly just the looking at me. Maybe it's... Oh, God. Is it bad? Is it that bad? I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm just normal and I'm thinking too much into it. My psychologist was also like, how would you feel if you were not crazy? How would you feel if you didn't have anything wrong with you? And then I just said like, oh, that'd be nuts. That'd be crazy. I wouldn't be upset. If there was nothing wrong with me, I don't think I'd be that upset. It would just be surprising. I might actually be surprised for once. Something might actually surprise me. But whenever I am talking with my psychologist, I do kind of let go on a level. Maybe it's just because he's been doing it since '96, I think. Like, so he's like, knows how to like open people. Oh god, that makes me want to throw up. I need constant control. And knowing that I don't have control with this guy, or as much control as I'd like, in terms of how he views me, that's terrible. Because I can't warp that. I can't, like, very fine-tune that shit. I think I'm done talking. I'm tired. And I'm no longer freaking out. Now I'm just stuck with this mania. I think it's mania. It probably is. Because I'm smiling and laughing over nothing and I'm saying heavy shit and I don't give a fuck. I was gonna upload this. I might not. I don't know. I don't care. I just spent talking to myself for like 3 hours. You're perfect. Bye.